Welcome back to the Rest is F1 podcast. Today we are talking about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix of 2025. The season is over. I've got ABD with me. How are we, ABD? Did we like the race?
It was a decent race. I guess congrats to Lando Norris for winning the World Championship,
Yeah,
Drivers' World Championship, and congrats to Shaq for winning the TRF1 Championship.
yeah, yeah. We're tied
Went to
now.
the wire.
We're tied. We're tied. You have one, now I have one. So Ham is the one missing out.
Yeah, I know. Now we can go only for like multiple World Championships.
Yeah, yeah. Just like what Norris will be doing next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Good race, you reckon?
Uh, there were a few incidents, but we were all hoping for some swaps between the championship leaders. That didn't happen, so that was a bit disappointing. I guess what made it the most interesting was how quick Leclerc was in that Ferrari behind Norris. That made it a bit harder for the McLarens. So yeah, that was quite interesting to watch. Um, but yeah, up front there was not much happening other than the Oscar Piastri overtake on Norris. So he had to do it, right?
Yes,
To
yes, yes,
stay
yes.
up
He
in
did
the
have to do it.
championship.
He had to do that. He had to make that move straight away, and he had to make another move on Max, which he obviously never got done. So yeah, like you said, Norris was, of course, he didn't. He did do enough. He did get the P3 he needed, and that ended up making him win the championship only by 2 points because Max
Right.
won the race. So that's very, you don't see that happen often, and that makes it hurt more for the people who lose, right? And yeah, I mean, Max was just, he was just kind of flawless again. I mean, I don't really know. I feel like we say this week in, week out. He's won 3 races in a row now to end off this season. He's
Yeah,
just, he's always on it. He's always on it.
yeah. If he had the same car in the first half of the season, the story would have been completely different. But also at the same time, I think he's very realistic. It even though it was just 2 points, he was saying he got some early Christmas gifts with the McLaren disqualification and McLaren, poor strategy and things like that. So he was pretty realistic. Given the fact that he only lost by 2 points, I thought he wasn't that sad. But yeah, could have, should have, all the past races, what could have happened, it all plays back in your mind, I'm pretty sure for him. But yeah, he have won four. I'm sure he'll be back strong next year. So looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah. No, he definitely remains as the, by far, the best driver on the grid. And I want to say, I feel like this is not a super weird take. I would say this year has actually opened my eyes as to how big that gap of skill is between Max and everyone else. 2024, there were moments here and there, but that dry period in the middle of 2024 where you didn't get a win, that maybe, I wouldn't say didn't give me like a good idea of him or a good representation of him, but it didn't show his skill as much. Whereas this one, he was just flat out, these last 10 races, just too good, right? That's like, what, 14 races before this, and then there's 10 of just 10 out of 10 performance week in, week out. That's the thing. You got to give him credit for that. I think he's just been too good. And obviously, we keep adding it in there. He won at the Nürburgring in that GT car series as well. So he's just that good. And I feel like this year has genuinely just opened my eyes into how good Max is compared to everyone else. I feel like everyone else, you got a lot of catching up to do to get to this guy because he is unstoppable when he has the proper car under him, and that's what he's had for the last, 10 races. So yeah, I just want to give Max his flowers there. I know everyone thinks this, but I thought I'd just give my idea of him in there. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. Like, um, even like the team principal changed middle of the season. The best aerodynamics engineer changed last season. So big changes in the team, but he never, left his skills away. Like he just kept going, right? So it's great to watch, and trust me, like the season wouldn't have been this much fun or this much close without Max Verstappen. It
Oh
would be
yeah,
just two McLaren drivers just going to the end, and having an extra team or a different team to McLaren there fighting for the championship was great for us fans to watch. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's Max. Let's focus on. I want to go Piastri, and then we'll talk about Norris because obviously that's how it finished. Piastri, he did pretty much everything he could this race, I would say, based off the strategy. I will say the thing with Max was he didn't. Usually they try and back the pack up in Abu Dhabi to so he could pressure Leclerc, or sorry, pressure Norris to getting attacked by Leclerc from behind. Piastri starting on the alternate tires, the hard tires, rather than the mediums, made Max not do that. So I think he actually played a bit of a role there. Piastri did. I think that was a smart thing for McLaren to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, would have maybe seen them potentially throw away a championship because Leclerc, like you said, was rapid. He was really rapid.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
a lot more than we thought he would be because the Ferraris did not qualify that amazingly. It was
That's right. Yeah, they
P5,
struggled.
P16. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think even when I saw like the tires strategy when before the lights went off, I was like, oh my god, that's McLaren's probably the best strategy they have done, and they have covered for their mistakes in Qatar with the hard tire. Like they were just making sure like their driver is going to be the champion, right? So, but again, Piastri overtaking um, Lando with the hard tires was also really good. Like he had to do what he had to do, and also in the radio he was talking about, okay, how can I catch Max? How can I win this race? So I think he was always aiming to get that win as well,
yes,
which he
exactly.
probably lost or deserved in Qatar.
Yeah,
So yeah, he had a decent race, but really unfortunate with the championship. But we can't forget the fact that he is what 2 seasons into F1 now compared to 5 6 seasons for Lando Norris. So he's still fairly new, right? So
yeah. This was his third. Yeah,
third season, yeah.
third.
So
Yeah,
still he's still got time. And I heard like for example Martin Brundle saying the calmness and how he handles himself, how he drives, is only going to improve. And there's multiple championships surely waiting for him too. Yeah.
yeah. I just wanted to say the last thing about Piastri was the reason. I mean, you could see after the race was over, he was pretty good sportsmanship wise. Like he would give Lando his a hug and
Yeah.
shake his hand, all that stuff. He celebrated with the team, not like he ditched the team or whatever, being sad or anything. But you could tell he was quite down still because he knows that this was easily a chance for him to win it. And I think
Yeah.
the thing with F1 is that you got to be right place, right time. You just need to be in the right team at the right time when they have a good car because not every, world class driver gets the opportunity to actually win a world drivers championship. And
Yeah.
a prime example of that, I would say, right now is Charles Leclerc. He has not had any for a full season. He has not had a proper Ferrari that can actually take him to a world championship. So for Piastri, I can understand the I guess the frustration. He obviously midway through the season, he had that thing of, is the team really backing me as much as I think they are? And there's obviously a lot of questions marks over that. And Zach Brown does not make it very nice to listen to. His radio messages were awful. I will say that they were just very
Yeah.
hard to listen to. But we know what that it's all about the emotions, I guess. But yeah, for me, I would say with Piastri, the thing that makes it the most painful, I guess, is that he was so good for those 16 races, and he was just winning like every second race. He'd win races two in a row. He had one hand on that championship the way he was going. If that season, of form just continued for a little bit longer, I don't think Lando would have won this one because I think Piastri, genuinely, the way he was driving, would have just been able to take it because he had done so well to build such a lead
Yeah.
over such a long period of time where Norris was struggling, where Max didn't have the car. He was taking advantage, and the way he let it slip, that's really the part that
Yeah.
hurts. Yeah.
After Monza, the crash in Baku, the for me the unfair penalty in Silverstone, all of that sort of trickled down for him in the second half of the season. So yeah, really unfortunate. But I hope this is not the only season he get to fight for the championship. Hopefully, he
Yes.
will get more of those in the coming years. Yeah.
I do think he has a higher ceiling than Lando. No
Yeah.
discredit to Lando, but I think Piastri is genuinely, just like you said, what Brando was saying. He was so calm. He's so cool in the car. He can just produce the speed and pace he needs. And one thing I will also give Piastri credit for is the way he's been able to develop or get better at looking after his tires, because that was something he struggled with early on in his career, back
Last
in
year.
2023. And yeah, so Piastri deserves all the credit he can get. It's a season to remember for him.
Yep.
Yeah, we it makes sense why it hurts to lose it like this. But yeah, got to give Piastri his credit. But let's move on to Lando. Lando Norris is officially the 35th, I think, World Championship winner in
Yes.
Formula One.
Yep.
What's your
And
thoughts?
yeah, 35th person on the planet to win the world championship, and also McLaren's driver to win the world championship since Lewis Hamilton in 2008.
Yes.
So that's a long wait for a top team like McLaren. So yeah, I want to say well deserved, but I also think we also don't know. Like there are a lot of theories about the teams, favoring him over Oscar and all of that. So we don't know the backstory, so we can't just conspire, I guess. So it's he has to do what he had to do in the last race. He kept that third position, which was at the least he had to finish in to win the championship. I think he was blocked by Tsunoda really badly in
Yes.
that
Yes. Yeah.
straight. So he did really well to overtake those cars as well after the pit stop. So well deserved. And I think we discussed this in the preview as well about we want to see a new champion, champion for F1, which
Yeah.
happened. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's good for the sport, and hopefully we can see more of those in the coming years.
Yeah. No, it's good to see. I mean, ultimately, like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I did not want. Lando was my third option. Lando was the third of the three who I wanted to actually win, because I wanted it either to be Oscar or be Max. But Oscar was sort of you really need everything to be a certain way for it to
Yeah.
happen. And Max was it just had to be Lando off the podium. And that was literally like the only thing was Max did everything he needed and Lando did everything he needed. Like they both
Ah,
did
yes.
everything they practically could to make
Yep.
to make the championship theirs. So yeah, look, I mean, end of the day, I mean, I see him cross the line. I still feel really happy for him. Like he deserves it. He does deserve it. He's in a good car at the right time. And he made use of it. He won the races at the end that you needed to. You think about when Piastri last won his race, when he won his last race this year, it was round 15. Lando's last win this year was in Brazil, which was like round 21 or something. So that's a big difference there. So there you go. That's what the difference of that can
Yeah.
make. So
Yeah, and he also had like that engine failure in Zandvoort.
yeah, yes,
If we look at all of those, I think yeah, you're right. He's a deserving champion as well. Yeah, it was really emotional to see. This is what happens when you get a new champion, right? So I think it's much more emotional than multiple world champions, like your
yes,
parents,
yes,
your
for sure.
family.
Yeah,
Everyone's there.
I watched back a couple of the races where Max had won his second, his third, his fourth championship. They're just kind of doing a radio in the car, and then he goes and jumps with the team. It's whatever, It's like
Yep.
the first one is the special one. That's the one that starts everything. Like for Lewis winning the McLaren one in 2008, that was like that breaks the ice. That stamps him in the books in the records. So Lando's in there now. Um,
Yeah, and I try to think about like the early days when Lando joined McLaren, and the image that come to my mind is um, Lando was like the reserve driver, and it was Alonso, and I can't remember the second driver who was driving for McLaren at the time, and Lando making tea or coffee for Alonso and taking it to him in the paddock. That's my memory. And from there to win the championship after 6 7 years, it must be some journey to reach here, right? So I'm
yeah,
sure there'll be a lot of
yeah,
emotions
yeah,
will
no,
flow through.
100%. I agree. I would also like to make a comment on the Sonoda thing. So I 100% agree that Sonoda's penalty was fair. Should there be something for Norris fully going off? I don't know. That's a bit of a tough one because it's caused by the movement of that, right? I guess. But also there's the thing of like you literally cannot overtake off track at all. So
Yeah, but if this, I was watching the race with Ham, and we were having this chat. So the two investigation popped up on the screen. One was like, okay, pushing someone off the track, and the other one was like overtaking off the
off the
track.
track, yeah.
You can't give penalty for both, right? You push someone out, he's already out. So
Yeah, no, that's the thing, exactly. But like I feel like you have to give the penalty for Tsunoda's action, but then
100%,
giving
yeah,
it for Norris as well, that just makes everything look stupid.
yeah.
In the end, it wouldn't have mattered because he did beat Leclerc by more than 5 seconds. So
Oh, dude.
that's there as well. Although obviously, when you put into context, if he had like served the penalty during the race, maybe that Leclerc would be chasing a lot more. I don't know. But look, again, if buts, maybes, woulds, could, should. But I will say one thing is, there might not be bias, but regardless of the bias we think that is there in McLaren, there's definitely British bias on the Sky Sports commentary. Martin
Yeah.
Brundle just did not stop, like absolutely having a go at Sonoda for
Oh yeah, I saw that.
helping Max because he was just like, "Oh nah, it was one time, wasn't it more like four times? Like you moved over or something?" And I was just like, "Leave it, man, leave it. You're like a proper commentator. Just let it be let it happen. Don't you need to be neutral, right? You need to be neutral if
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
commentator. You
But
can't just
also, Tsunoda need to learn how to defend. He need to
yes."
watch the Paris video from 2021.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the place he chose to do it was silly. I thought he would have done it like under the hotel area where they have these tight left and right corners, because that's where you can really back someone up, and that's what Brundle was saying. So I understand what Brundle is saying, but I think he was still being a little bit too British
Oh yeah,
bias and just kind of having a go at the other guy. So. I just think they need to fix that. They need to fix that, and because we can't have that in F1 as for the neutrals and all the fans watching, you don't want to be hearing that every week. So that's
yeah.
one thing Sky
Agreed.
Sports can fix. Not something we usually bring up, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just a really good championship. One thing we'll say is that Norris or Antonelli going wide in Qatar was also very crucial. Because if Lando did not, because genuinely, I think if you look at it, I don't think Lando would have got past Antonelli if he didn't go wide.
Yeah,
He would have finished P5, which means he has to finish P2 if Max finished P1.
2 points, man. Anything could
That's
have
the
happened.
difference,
Yeah.
right? And the reason I bring that one up specifically is because it was just the race before this one.
Before, yeah,
Obviously,
true.
all the other ones, they're much earlier in the season. You don't know what's going to happen. But this
Yeah,
one, I remember Crofty saying it there while it was happening. Oh, that's going to be huge because Lando doesn't need to finish any higher than third. And third is obviously easier than second because that's one less place. And so I think, honestly, I think the McLaren thing of move Piastri out of the way so Norris can win, I think it might have happened. I think it might have happened if that was the case.
Yeah, hindsight is a beautiful thing, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's just 2 points. So any of the smallest turn of events could have flipped the championship upside down. So yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy to think. The only thing is, like, I don't know, 5 years from now, we look back at 2025 season and we look at the driver standings and we would say, oh my God, Max Verstappen lost it by 2 points.
Yeah, but I
But
feel like a lot of people are still going to remember this year for McLaren's behavior towards Piastri
yeah,
and the fact that Max just came back and literally almost just took it right out of their hands. They like literally almost bottled it. So I think
yeah,
those two things are going to be like a huge shadow
definitely the highlights. Yeah,
Norris's championship. So in that sense, that's kind of going to suck for him. But obviously,
yeah,
he's not going to care. He's just won a world championship, so it doesn't
right.
affect him. I guess it affects the way people think of his championship. But yeah, again, if you didn't pay attention to this season, you wouldn't know. So it's really
Yeah.
about everyone who's been watching F1 this year. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed, making these videos, highlighting everything. It's really cool to see a fight. Something we haven't had for a while. We thought we had it last year. We didn't. But let's, you know what? We're talking about the top three a lot. Let's go down to the sort of the rest of the fields. Obviously, there's things like Leclerc, Russell in there, but Hamilton just about stayed ahead of Kimi in the driver standings. That's something
Yeah, terrible
like,
season for
yeah,
Hamilton. Yeah,
yeah.
one of the worst seasons. No podiums. He crashed in FP3. He again uh, got got out in Q1. So I think it's just a season to forget for Hamilton. The only good thing was like how it all started. The Ferrari
The
red
hype,
and
the
the
hype,
hype and all of that.
and the
So
sprint
that's the only
win.
good part.
The sprint win kind of gave everyone
Oh,
that
yeah.
little bit of hope. I feel like if you had gone back to that time and you had told me this is how it finishes, I wouldn't have believed him. Whoever says that. So yeah, you still have to give him some sort of credit. He was not absolute rubbish all year long, but yeah, I do agree with you. This is absolutely for sure the worst season of his career.
So, yeah.
He has finished P6, I think, once in the championship before. Maybe last year he might have as well, but I think it's
I'm glad he's like right behind Leclerc and not, I
not
mean, not right behind,
not
like
right
behind
behind, but
Leclerc.
like one place
Yeah,
behind. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think 2022, 2024, and 2025 now he has finished sixth in all of those in the driver standings, which is, I wouldn't have believed you if you had told me that, because the way he was going in 2021, that was a completely different Lewis.
Yeah.
And I hope the way these new cars do drive suit his style, his driving style a lot more. Because I think if you had to pick one of the top drivers that it doesn't suit, it's Lewis. I think it just goes
Oh,
way
yeah. The
against the way
new
he goes.
dysregulation. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I also think Ferrari need to bring some big changes within their team to be able to fight against the Red Bulls and the McLarens.
I think they should
And I
change
hope they do that in
Hamilton's.
2026.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think they should also change Hamilton's engineer. I don't think he is the man for the job. Could work with science, but he's just so unresponsive with Lewis. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just happens all the time, every single week. He's saying something and then he
No
won't report
response.
it. No response, or he says something, they give him a response too quickly, or they don't
Come
need.
on, Bono, go to Ferrari.
Yeah, I would not be against that actually, but I don't think he would do that, would he? So yeah, Lewis survives. Lewis survives, but he'd be right down the rankings, I think, for this year. So hey, the only way I feel like the only way is up for Lewis, at
From
least
now on, yeah,
from
that's the
this
only
time,
thing.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
100%. I think he'll have a look at like how 2026 goes. Hopefully, he can fight in a try for the championship. It will be really hard with another really good driver on the other car in the other car, like with Charles Leclerc. So it's going to be an uphill battle, but I hope he shows the pace and fight it out with the other top drivers. I just
yeah,
want to touch on like other like rookies, like so many rookies this season, like Behrman, Hajar, Bortoleto. Who was the highlight for you this season out of all the rookies?
Ooh. See, that's a hard one because they all have had such good like highs. Like Antonelli got a couple podiums. Hajar got a podium. Behrman almost got a podium. And then like Bortoleto, yeah, he was quite up there. I don't remember. There's another couple rookies in there as well, but I really don't know. That's quite a good question. I like if you
Yeah,
had asked me probably halfway through, I would have said Hajar, but I think he's dropped off.
yeah. I
Um,
think for me it has been Hajar and Behrman. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah, Behrman has been so consistent, I thought, compared to, Ocon, who has been like in F1 for a long time and he
yeah,
has been a good
yeah.
driver as well against Alonso, against Perez, in the same team. So I thought Behrman was up there for me.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I would say, I don't know, maybe I would say Kimi actually, because Kimi has shown, I mean, especially these last few, he's shown that he can be, he will be, I think he will be a champion one day. The way his trajectory is going, the ceiling for him seems like higher than anyone else in F1 right now.
Hmm. Only 18 years old, yeah.
Only 18, 19 years old now, and yeah, he's just the way I don't know. I just yeah, he had like a little drop off in the middle somewhere, but I think he has shown us a lot of good signs of
Potential, yeah.
the future. So in that sense, I think maybe Kimi is a good shout. I don't know. I don't think the rookie of the year thing would be as clear as maybe it was
Yeah.
before.
Because they all had some good moments this season, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I should just check quickly, having a look just to see if we missed any rookies. No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, probably those four were the highlight, the standout.
And Alonso.
And Alonso as well. Yes, Alonso as well. He has in fact jumped into the top 10. This is the only race he has been in the top 10. Congrats. I mean, good on him. The fact he is able to keep it up, I don't think any other driver in F1 has got the longevity skill of Alonso. I'll absolutely give him 100% credit for that. He's much by far the best in terms of having that age just doesn't affect him as much. I do think he's not the man he used to be. But yeah.
Yeah, the only thing is I want to see like a sort of closely equal driver in the other car. So he has some competition within the team, but right now that's not the case. Yeah,
Yeah. Stroll did have him
most of the
behind him for
season.
a while in the season, but that is, of course, Alonso had like 60 NFs at the start of the year, so
Yeah,
that also comes into play. But yeah, now so many people just awesome this year. I mean, Hulkenberg, that's another one. Can't forget he got an awesome podium. He's never had one his whole year, his whole career actually, and he's just pulled one out the bag. So
2025.
just to him,
Yeah,
so good to see. Everyone just dropped. No one had. There was no hate, nothing. Everyone was like, "Go get that podium." as soon
Yeah.
as they saw the chance. So that was one awesome thing to see. Then there was I'm trying to remember what else was happening. I mean, there's Williams as well. Williams. I mean, they had we had the expectations for them to, obviously go quite far up,
Yeah.
go far up in the standings, I should say. Sorry. And yeah, it was Albon for most of the season, and Sainz has clawed it back, but he's still not beat Albon. So I would say it's kind of hard to measure it
Yeah.
when you
That.
look at it,
Yeah.
right? The
It's
point
been
is
a
not.
season of two halves for the two drivers in that team.
Yeah,
And I think I give big credit to Sainz coming into a new team, learning all the tools that he has in his disposal, learning the car, learning the steering wheel, all the buttons are different from what he's used to at Ferrari. So huge credit to him. I think in the second half of the season he's really picked up, and even he was saying if when he signed for Williams, if someone would have told him he would have finished where he
actually,
has now and he was
above it.
got the
Yeah,
podium and all of that, he would have signed much quicker than he had done. So yeah, definitely a good season for Williams.
yeah. I also do want to mention that he also said that he had to adapt from sort of, yeah, he's driven midfield cars before, and he had to kind of go back into the driving into the midfield cars. He had to drive the car like it was a midfield car, not a top car, which is what the
Right.
Ferrari usually is. So
Yeah.
that explains why it took how long it took for him to really click. But at the same time, I do want to give Albon his credit as well. I know he's had a pretty poor sort of last 8 races, but um,
Damn,
he
I went
has.
for Williams for my good team,
I
and
know,
nothing
yeah,
happened.
yeah. I saw that. I was really like, I didn't expect both of them to not be in the points. I did
Points.
expect
Yeah.
a bit more for that. So yeah, I thought. I think Albon does deserve the credit he has had. I would say if you're talking about consistency itself, I would give that one to Albon. But if at the time when Sainz did get that podium in Baku, we were all like, "Oh, that kind of should have been Albon because of the way he's been going." But at the same time, you got to be there. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, what a season! We've obviously got more to talk to about on the season itself. But it has been obviously an awesome season to watch. Abu Dhabi is done. Season is done. I guess it's 4 months of no F1 now, so we'll make a bit more content and then we'll enjoy the other sports, I guess, right? So yeah, we've got the season review next. But until then, that is everything from us. I hope you've enjoyed the season, and congrats again to Lando Norris for winning the World Championship. Until then, we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.